We are finally in June, which means the 1.05 update is literally just a few days away. Now, when we received the 1.04 update that made massive changes such as buffing the low tier characters like Leroy for example, we got a preview as to what changes would come in the next update, which is the upcoming 1.05 update. And one of these changes discussed would be the defensive aspect of Tekken 8, because right now the game is a little bit unga bunga, aggressive, right? The defensive aspect of the game is not that great, so they will say they will address this issue and make some massive changes. So the Tekken Twitter page actually made a thread discussing some of the changes that might come in this next update, such as the hit dash nerf at the wall, throws being changed to some aspect, and maybe even side steps being buffed. So yeah, this is looking to be a good update. I really can't wait for this. Apart from that, characters such as Paul, Raven, and Kazuya have been hinted to be getting massive buffs, which is what this video is about. So without further ado, let's talk about it. So first, let's start with Raven, who is one of my mains, as you guys know, and without a doubt, the coolest freaking character in the game. I mean, come on. The freaking shadow clones, come on. So I've made so many different videos on why I think Raven is low tier in this game, or at least pretty bad. But I have said this, Raven mostly depends on the driver of the character, right? More so than any other character, because Ravens are different. Ravens don't play the same, right? That's one thing I love about the character. You can express him in so many different ways. But with that said, when you look at Raven's tools, dude, they are horrible. Yes, he's meant to be a gimmick character, a mix-up character, but that doesn't mean he must have bad laws, you know, bad frame data, bad punishment, right? He has to have at least something that he excels at really good. This is where Raven's biggest problem comes into play. He is a very complicated character whilst still being a risky character as well. Starting with his laws. Raven's laws are very bad, and I won't stop stressing about this issue. It's either they are reactable or they have bad frame data. Now what I mean by bad frame data is even on hit, you can land a law on hit, but it's still not your turn afterwards. Basically, you throw a law, you lose out your turn, which sucks, right? If the law is good, like if you have plus frames on the law, that means it's reactable, like down back 4 for example, full crouch down forward 3 for example, which is, you know, minus 14 either way. You can parry afterwards, or it's still like a mix-up, but generally it's minus 14. His backturn laws are all launch punishable, so he's a very risky character while still being very difficult to play. And this is why I always say this character is so good to be this unpopular in the game. I mean, he is so cool to be this unpopular. It doesn't really make sense, but it's just because of how complicated he is as a character. So now, how would I want Raven to be buffed? Now, like I said, I've made so many videos on this, so I'll just, like, you know, quick run it. Firstly, I would like his hit to be buffed. Like I always say, I want his clones to be at least +1 instead of -3. Everyone and their grandmother thought these clones would be plus the first time they saw Raven. Remember the first days, no one used to press buttons after Raven's clones because they all thought they were plus. So I want that aspect to be given to Raven. Let him stay aggressive whilst he is in hit, because as of right now, you can't really keep your pressure going in hit with the clones, which sucks. -3, you can get grabbed and, you know, all that. So at least make his clones in hit +1, that wouldn't be a huge buff. Then, like, reduce the risk on his laws. Either improve the frame data or just improve the speed, like down back, for example, maybe make it a bit faster. Down 3, make down 3 at least to be +1, you know, just make his laws a little bit better. Reduce the risk that comes with this character, because right now it feels like a clutch playing Raven. It is so difficult, right? But just at a few tweaks, I think Raven would be good, but like not too many buffs, because yeah, Raven is a difficult character to fight against. So don't like over buff him, but just like make him generally viable. And the buff to running 3 would be needed as well. Like running 3 is so bad, right? Just make it faster. This is a nitpick, but it's something I would want. I think this would be good for his pressure, but overall, I think these buffs would put Raven in a decent place as of right now. Okay, they are buffing Paul. These guys are actually buffing Paul. Holy shit. Dude, like, can someone explain to me why Paul needs buffs? Is it because he's not playing Tekken 8? Is it because he doesn't have a power crush hit engager? Like, why? Paul is ridiculously strong, right? He is so good. I don't understand why they're buffing Paul. Now, Paul in general, in my opinion, is what most of the characters should be in this game. If anything, most characters should be toned down to the level of Po. Now this actually might look bad because Po, if you look at Po's tools, dude, Po is insane. He has one of the highest damage in the game, if not like second after Brian. I think maybe he might be above Brian when he is in heat, right? That freaking Death Fist does insane damage. Po is an all-around built character. He has all the tools necessary. Like, I don't understand why some of these changes affect, like, dude, why would you want to buff Po? Someone in the comments, Po mains, tell me why Po is getting buffed. I just think everyone in the game should just be toned down instead of characters like Po getting buffed. Characters should be toned down to the point where they come down to the level of Po, if not lower. Because one can make the argument that with Po, without the necessary Tekken 8 tools, right, is an S tier character. Right? He's just missing the Tekken 8 bullshit that most of these characters have, but overall, he has everything. He has everything. He has good lows, he has good poking, he has good mids. I gave him his new forward 4 homing move. He has forward 1+2, right? Side step 3, good low. He has quarter circle back 4, good counter hit keep out 2. He has everything. Down forward 2 that crushes jabs. He has a grab game. He has the Death Fist grab that can wall splat you in hit for some insane damage. Insane damage. He has upward 2, good pressure move. He has down back 2, which hits grounded as well. He has got good strings for pressure. Down forward 1-1-2. He will get down forward 1 into back sway. He has good combo damage. Dude, Po is a complete character. So I like this. For me, this is what scares me more about this update, the buff to Po. Like, I don't know what they would give this character to make him better, right? Because right now he's still insane. He has a guard break mechanic in hit as well. And like in hit, when this character gets a hold of you, especially in these, interactable stages of explosions and floor blasts and shit, bro, you are dead. This guy can do like 100 damage combos. This scares me. I don't want Po to be buffed. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Most of the characters should be nerfed and brought down rather than characters like Po getting buffed. But Po is stupid. Po does not need buffs, but Po mains, I guess y'all are happy. And finally, Kazuya. Kazuya, I'm kind of on the fence about, because I don't find anything really overpowered or underpowered with this character. He's kind of in a sweet spot. The only biggest complaint I've seen about Kazuya is the inconsistency on his combos. That's the biggest change that he needs. He needs some buff to his combos, bro. Some different combo routes and just, better stuff. Overall, the combo is where this guy suffers. Overall, I think he does what he's supposed to do. His archetype is pretty good, actually really better in this game, because he actually has usable mids and usable lows. They buffed down 1+2, it's super good right now. Down back 3 is good, down back 4 he has good lows. Kazuya has always struggled with mids and mediocre lows, but now he's kind of a complete character, at least for his archetype. Just because people aren't really playing Kazuya, or you don't see that many Kazuyas at high level, doesn't mean this character is bad, right? I think Kazuya mains are the most obnoxious. At least most of the Kazuya players are the most obnoxious, right? Dude, no, not competitively viable, bro. How many people were playing Kazuya in Tekken 7 at high level? Kazuya mains, tell me this. How many? You rarely saw Kazuya players at high level. What's his name? Shadow 20Z was one of the few Kazuyas, right? But everyone used to say Kazuya was strong in Tekken 7, but like no one just really played him that much. And that's the same case in Tekken 8. This character is strong, but just not that popular competitively, right? You find hella Kazuyas in Tekken 8. He's one of the most popular characters in the game. He's been in top 5 popularity for the longest, right? So I don't know what Kazuya might get in terms of the upcoming update, but I hope it's not a lot, because I think he's good. I think he's good. And maybe the other thing that might need some altercations is his hit mechanic. They need to do some things to improve his hit. I think he spends a lot of his hit doing stuff, right? Like his power crush, that's 1+4. It takes up like over half of his hit gauge. Maybe like reduce that, right? Maybe they reduce the hit gauge on forward 2. Maybe he shouldn't get that much hit gauge from his hell sweep. It takes a little bit too much, just a few tweaks and changes like that, but nothing massive, nothing over the top. Kazuya does not need anything over the top. Guys, I won't lie, I'm scared, man. Poor Kazuya, more so Po than Kazuya rather, right? I think Kazuya might need a few tweaks. Combos, make his combos better, but overall don't give him obnoxious stuff. But I like Kazuya, honestly. I want to see him in meta, I want to see him competitively, but I don't want to see him busted. Please, just, Namco, do it right. You did it right in the previous patch, you can do it again. So yeah, Kazuya mains, Tell me what you think about your character right now. Please just be honest. Does he need anything else more than a fix to his combos and maybe some changes to his hit? So there you have it, guys. That's what I think about these characters getting buffed. Now I'm sure there'll be plenty more characters. Off the top of my head, all I can think about is the bears. I think the bears might need a little bit more love in terms of movement. The defensive buffs to the mechanic of the game overall might be a saving grace to the bears, and this might make Kuma insane. Like, yeah, but overall I don't think there is a very bad character right now. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone else, but I'm sure there'll be other more characters. I hear Asuka might get more buffs. God forbid, that character is stupid now. But yeah, I think Tekken is in a good place, honestly. Just a few things can make it good. The high, safe, power crush hit engagers need to go. That's perhaps one of the biggest changes needed in the game. The high crush, power crush hit engagers, the power crush hit engagers, and the grabs as well need to go. Homing grabs need to go. But overall, I really can't wait for the update. Defensive, I'm all for it. So please, Namco, do it right. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other content as well. So GG, my boys, be the frame data be ever in your favor.